welcome back to another exciting episode of the Hempy Talks. I'm very much excited, intrigued, and looking forward to this conversation with Heather from South Africa, who is the founder of 080A Studio. And I'm introducing her as somebody who developed a very nice concept around hemp ceramics. So, Hemp, welcome to the Hempy Talks. Oh, sorry, Heather. Heather, welcome to the Hempy Talks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Beatrix. I'm honored to be here.
And as a start, let's start with discussing how did you get to know industrial hemp and what made you choose this material over many other natural materials?
So I was actually a ceramic artist for 13 years. My business was doing very well. I was regularly attending international trade shows sponsored by DTI up until our country went through what's known as load shedding. This is where the power gets cut for up to 8 hours at a time. And needing to run a kiln, I needed about 8 hours consecutive running time to fire my products. And it was just a big problem for me. And so I realized I had to find a sustainable solution to be able to make my beloved home decor, not needing electricity. And I started doing some research. Initially, I thought maybe let me try and see if I can revolutionize concrete and make it lightweight and make it moldable. And I just learned concrete has a hectic impact on our planet. And that's actually where I came across hempcrete. And I remember thinking hempcrete, I think it to be something that people smoke to get high. So I was like, how is this going to work? But the word crete stood out to me, and I thought, okay, this must be a sustainable solution to concrete. And I just went down the rabbit hole with hempcrete. My whole life changed, the whole trajectory of my life. I became in love with hempcrete, and I was determined to get my hands on it and to start experimenting with it. And then I had to just first do my research on our hemp industry in South Africa. I knew nothing about it. I came to find out we're in very new stages in South Africa, only about 3 years, and I couldn't get my hand on the product. That was also a problem. I couldn't get my hands on hemp. And eventually I had a farmer who gifted me. They were running some cannabis medical trials. They had hemp as a byproduct. They gifted me about half a ton, the stems. And I bought a wood chipping machine, and I just processed the hemp by myself, splinters, and, it was a disaster, but a success in the end. And I was able to then start experimenting with hempcrete and turning hempcrete into home decor. So it was quite a process. Yeah.
Right. What an interesting process that is, that out of necessity you explore the beauty of natural materials and then you start working with it. And previously we had here Cornelia Rozwadowska from Poland, who I believe using hempcrete as well to make ceramics. And she is making flower pots. And then she was telling about her journey into the ceramics, which was very interesting. What we didn't discuss much in detail there in that conversation was how and what is the difference it really makes when people decide to choose this kind of ceramics compared to other type of ceramics. I remember her mentioning that it was lightweight and it was more breathable for the flowers. But I don't recall, and we didn't really discuss much more in detail about the other benefits. So what do you think are the key benefits why people would decide to invest in buying ceramics from hemp?
Oh, wow. The benefits are endless. So just to name a few off the top of my head, it's lightweight. Yeah, it's the hempcrete product itself is lightweight. It's non-toxic. It's watertight. It's fireproof. It is, of course, sustainable, eco-friendly. It is biodegradable. It is recyclable. If I don't like a vase, I can break it down, and I can put water in, and I can rebuild it up. It is just everything opposite to ceramics. So it's carbon negative, it's thermal insulating in the home. There's just a plethora of benefits for this product that's not only beautiful, but it's got a mindful story behind it. So it embodies everything sustainable, eco-friendly. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful product.
Right. The benefits and the key characteristics of hemp kind of is greeting me again and again when when I explore different solutions made out of hemp. So that's really wonderful to see, and what a different world it can create. If people decide to choose this more and more, and you also developed, and I learned that from the discussion we had just prior to recording this podcast episode, that you developed a very nice business model as well around the hemp ceramics. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Certainly. So as I mentioned to you, we spent about a year, just perfecting the formula of the hempcrete, and then moving on to the production line, how to actually turn hempcrete into a vessel. Took a lot of time. And having spent about a year dedicated to perfecting that, we're now looking at taking, the vessels global and connecting globally with distributors, manufacturers, stockists. So, we've set up a licensing agreement for anybody anywhere in the world who would like to manufacture our product, to cut out shipping costs, custom costs, delivery, all of that, and boost their own economy with major job creation, export opportunities, especially in rural countries like Kenya, where there's no electricity usage needed, minimal materials, almost no startup cost. It's a stunning business concept, and we want to share it with the world. Our end goal is really just to get our product in every home, to bring awareness around sustainable design and, more importantly, industrial hemp. Our vision is to have hemp homes, furnished and decorated with beautiful hemp ceramics and decor.
That's beautiful. And the concept itself is fascinating. I don't recall, hearing this concept in the previous episodes when I was talking to different hemp business owners from around the world. But it's just such a healthy concept, and I believe really that this is where we are going. This is the future, where instead of creating dependence, that people have to rely on you and your business services or product solutions, you empower people and you say you can create it on your own, and just grow by giving back, grow by helping others grow. So that's beautiful.
Absolutely, and we're incredibly passionate about economic growth. So with you starting up in your country, you're creating jobs, you're boosting your own economy. It's just the overall picture of it is just so wholesome and mindful, and it's beautiful. Yes, very proud of it.
Yes, yeah, amazing. Where do you see the future for your business? Where is it gonna go in the coming 5 years? How do you see it being expanded?
So very ambitious goals, very big dreams. We are not only, moving along with the home decor, expanding to furniture. Pretty much every item in a home you can see we are looking to recreate with hempcrete. So dining room tables, headboards, shelves, lampshades, basins, vases, everything you can imagine. We want to cover with our home decor and furniture. And then we're now also looking towards moving into the building sector. So we're working on load-bearing hempcrete building blocks, interlocking building blocks. Can't share too much on that just yet, as we're still in the testing phases. But the end goal, Dr. Beatrix, is to build hemp homes and to furnish and decorate them entirely from hemp products, from the curtains to the carpets to the bed linens to the home decor to the furniture, everything hemp. Hemp is the future. So that is our end goal. It's very ambitious, but I believe it's highly achievable.
Yes, absolutely. It is achievable, especially starting small and in many different locations. and that goes through empowerment and economic growth, as you mentioned. So it's wonderful, and I'm super grateful having these conversations and having this passion from other hemp business owners as well around the world, because that gives me a reassurance, that we are on the right track and we are all working on something and looking to grow it, and we are not competing. And that was the very first lesson I learned in the very first few weeks when we started out Hempy People in 2021, that it's not about competition, it's about the collaboration and creating together.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. I love that.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, if somebody is listening to this conversation, we are going to close it shortly, then please make sure that if it's not on YouTube, then go onto YouTube or go onto 0808 Studio and check out the wonderful ceramics. Just for you to see, and the next step can be for you to try it out in your home or make your own or reach out to Heather to start a collaboration. All would be very exciting, to see more and more of this in many countries. And that's wonderful as well to bring in rural countries, those who have limited access to electricity, that they also feel that they are contributing and they are creating. So it was wonderful having this conversation with you, Heather. Thank you so much for joining, and wishing you and 0808 Studio to grow beyond imagination immensely in many countries and in many different kinds of projects, and building that hemp home full of hemp in first in maybe South Africa and then in many other countries as well. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Dr. Beatrix.